What truly makes a person valuable? Is it their clothing, their beauty, their bank account, the number of likes they get on social media, or is it something else entirely? Actually, it's none of these. Stoic philosophy reveals a completely different truth. Being a person of true value lies in inner strength, calmness, and character. These people speak softly, act with composure, and feel no need to prove themselves to anyone. And I'm sure of this. When you meet such a person, you instinctively feel a kind of deep respect for them. But what about you? Are you ready to become that kind of person? If you want to transform the version of yourself within into someone stronger, more composed, and deeply respected, this video is made for you. These 7 qualities won't just make you different, they'll make you unforgettable. That's why I suggest you watch until the end, otherwise, you might miss one of these powerful qualities. And I won't just talk about them. I'll also give you practical steps to help develop these traits within yourself. So don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel, because this journey doesn't end here. It continues with you. If you're ready, let's begin. The first trait is this. Truly valuable people always maintain emotional stability. They feel every emotion, but are not controlled by any of them. They too experience anger, disappointment, excitement, even fear. But here's the difference. They don't act based on those emotions. They wait, they observe, they understand, and then they act. This isn't coldness, as some might think. This is leadership over your own life. The emotion comes, you acknowledge it, but you take the wheel. That is real strength. Imagine someone speaks to you rudely. You feel a volcano rising inside. You want to lash out, say something hurtful in return, but you don't. You breathe. You stay calm. You either stay silent or respond with composure. People might think your silence is weakness, but you know, not losing yourself is the highest form of strength. The Stoics said, "No one can make you angry. You choose to react." What does that mean? Even if someone wants to upset you, you are not obligated to fall into their trap. You are responsible for your inner world. Life will always come in waves. Problems at work. Betrayal from those you trust. Unexpected news. But people of high value don't lose their inner balance in the storm. They have trained themselves to stay emotionally grounded. So what is this balance? Not falling into panic. Not losing yourself in anger. Not becoming arrogant in moments of joy. Every emotion has the potential to overthrow your inner state. But those who lead themselves don't just feel their emotions, they govern them. So how can this be learned? Try these steps in your life. 1. Take a deep breath in moments of intense emotion. Just pause for a few seconds. 2. Ask yourself, if I act on this emotion, will I regret it later? 3. Write it down. Journaling your emotions helps you analyze them without reacting. 4. Wait. Sometimes, just waiting a few minutes can lead to an entirely different outcome. Remember, emotions will come, but how you respond to them determines the quality of your life. High-value individuals feel safe emotionally. People feel calm around them because they know this person won't explode suddenly. They won't harm others in anger or lose themselves in happiness. Being that kind of person doesn't just help you, it helps everyone around you. The second trait of valuable people is this. They understand the power of silence. You already know this. Speaking is easy. Talking a lot is even easier. But silence is the weapon of the wise, and high-value individuals know exactly when and how to use this weapon. They don't respond to everything. They don't enter every argument, because they understand. Sometimes not responding is the strongest response. So why do they remain silent? Because they don't need to prove themselves. They carry a calmness and confidence within. To them, silence is not weakness. It is the highest form of control. Imagine this. Someone treats you unfairly. Someone insults or criticizes you. Or maybe a group of people team up to make you look like the bad guy. What do you do in that moment? Most people start defending themselves with words, with arguments, sometimes even emotional outbursts. But what does a high-value person do? They remain silent. They watch. They listen. They think, but they don't react immediately. Because they know words spoken in an emotional state are not born from intention, but from impulse. And they choose to act with intention, not impulse. Let me tell you, silence itself has 3 powers. 1, when you're silent, your mind stays active. But when you speak, emotions often take over. 2, when you don't respond, the other person is caught off guard. They expected a reaction. Your silence disarms them. 3, silence makes a person appear mysterious and powerful. It's not the one who answers everything that is taken seriously. It's the one who knows when to speak. Epictetus said, "If what you're going to say isn't more valuable than silence, then don't say it." In other words, silence isn't a weakness. It's a wise decision. High-value people don't reply to every comment on social media. Don't immediately react to unfair criticism. Don't panic when someone they love goes quiet, because they understand. Silence is part of communication. It's a sign of inner strength. But that doesn't mean you should never speak. It's not about being quiet. It's about knowing when to speak. So observe with silence, decide with silence, and raise your worth through silence. The third trait of high-value people is that they always remain true to their principles. They don't shape their lives based on what others think. They live according to their own values. Trends and social pressure don't determine their direction. Why? Because they have an internal compass, and that compass isn't trends, approval, or fear. It's conscience and principles. So what are principles? Principles are your inner framework that helps you decide what's right and wrong. And this framework doesn't change with news headlines or other people's moods. High-value individuals know if you say yes to everything, if you keep questioning your own desires, if you constantly reshape yourself just to please others, then you've lost your compass, and they never allow that to happen. When they face pressure, tough decisions, or unpopular choices, they don't listen to the noise. They listen to the silence, to their inner voice, to their conscience. Marcus Aurelius once said, "Always stay true to your principles. The outside world may change, but what's right within you is eternal." This means that real stability isn't found outside, it's within. And if you don't have that inner stability, you'll be swayed by every passing wind. So how do principled people behave? They don't lie to please someone. They don't sell their values just to win. They don't stay silent out of fear or change themselves to be liked. For high-value people, being right is more important than being comfortable, even if it means standing alone. They ask themselves, does this decision align with my values? Will my conscience be clear if I choose this? Tomorrow, will I feel ashamed or proud of this choice? And if the answers are honest, they never stray from their path. So what does this loyalty give them? 1. Trust. People trust them because they are consistent and genuine. 2. Inner peace. They sleep well at night because they don't play games or wear masks. Strength. Their principles give them direction. Even when life is chaotic, they know where they're going. Yes, staying loyal to your values is not always easy. You may be criticized. You may be left out. You may even be misunderstood. But at the end of the road, you gain something priceless: your self-respect. And remember, if you abandon your principles, you're not losing to others. You're losing to yourself. High-value people never let that happen. For them, true victory isn't in pleasing others. It's in staying loyal to who they are. The fourth trait of high-value people is this: they don't waste energy on people who go against their values. They don't live to be liked by everyone. They know that constantly trying to prove yourself is one of the most exhausting and pointless battles, because they understand if someone doesn't respect your values, they don't deserve your energy. This doesn't mean they're arrogant or selfish. Not at all. It simply means where they know how to choose who deserves their energy and who doesn't, who deserves to sit at the same table and who should be kept at a distance. This is what we call setting inner boundaries. So what do these people do? They don't keep explaining themselves to people who don't want to understand. They don't break their principles just to stay close to someone. They don't fight with critics, they simply change their path. because they know it's impossible to gain everyone's approval, and trying to do so will drain your most valuable resource, your energy. Imagine this. You value honesty, but the people around you constantly lie. You love peace and depth, but they thrive on drama and chaos. You live mindfully, but they prefer shallow, surface-level connections. In such an environment, trying to change yourself is betrayal to your own soul. High-value people don't do that. They simply say, "This environment isn't for me. I'll quietly walk away." To many, this may seem like indifference, but in truth it is loyalty to one's soul. Inner peace is a choice, and every choice demands a sacrifice. Sometimes in order to stay calm, you must not stay around certain people. Sometimes to protect your energy, you must walk away from a relationship. Sometimes to stay healthy, you must say no instead of yes. High-value people have the strength to say no. They know every no to someone else is a yes to myself. They also understand that not every relationship, not every friendship, not every bond is meant for them. If a connection compromises your values, if it breeds self-doubt, then your energy is being spent in the wrong place. The Stoics used to say, "Better to be alone and free than to live a life that violates your soul." People who embrace this philosophy are not afraid of solitude. They know sometimes being alone is real freedom, and far better than being with those who don't value you. What does this lead to? Less stress, more self-respect, stronger inner stability, higher quality relationships. Because you're no longer trying to hold on to people. You're just living your truth. Whoever wants to walk this path with you, they are welcome. And whoever doesn't, the door is open. And here's the beautiful part. As people see you protecting your energy, they begin to respect you more. Not the ones who never valued you, but the ones who truly see who you are will stay. And you'll realize that this makes you not just stronger, but freer. The fifth trait, high-value people lead with calmness. They live a different kind of leadership, not the kind that comes from shouting or controlling, but from quiet strength, deep presence, and unshakable energy. Their presence is felt without effort. When they enter a room, their energy spreads like a calm wave. People immediately sense that this person is different. They don't seek attention through noise, but find strength in silence. High-value individuals know true power and influence is not in volume, it's in behavior and presence. Their words are few, but full of meaning. They lead not through orders, but by example. And often the most impactful leader is not the loudest, but the calmest. What does calm leadership look like? In moments of conflict at work, at home, or in life, yelling is easy, reacting emotionally is easy. But high-value people don't do that. Instead, they think quietly instead of yelling. They breathe deeply instead of panicking. They stay composed in tough situations. They manage their emotions and make decisions with wisdom. These leaders carry an energy filled with stillness. It comes from their inner world, their emotional mastery. Being around them calms your heart. It clears your mind. They energize others, but not through hype or pressure. Through peaceful strength. These kinds of leaders inspire trust and confidence in those around them. People open up to them. They feel safe expressing themselves. They want to share decisions and ideas with them. Why? Because such leaders discourage impulsive and emotional choices. Instead, they invite people to pause and think clearly. Marcus Aurelius, one of the greatest examples of Stoic leadership, never shouted. He ruled an empire through calm and wisdom. He drew his strength from stillness. Epictetus said, "True power lies in the ability to stay calm." And these words still resonate deeply. In ancient times and in our modern world, what does calm leadership give you? 1. Deep and lasting influence. Influence gained by shouting disappears quickly, but the influence built through calmness and composure is long-lasting. 2. Healthy relationships. Calm leaders build higher quality, long-term, and trustworthy connections with the people around them. 3. Inner harmony and reduce stress. Staying calm reduces internal stress and makes you healthier and more balanced. 4. Convincing authority. People believe actions more than words. A calm and self-confident person is always more persuasive. How to develop calm leadership skills. Calm leadership doesn't come instantly. It requires time and practice. Try to stay composed in stressful situations in your daily life. Learn and use deep breathing techniques. Avoid making hasty decisions and take each step thoughtfully. Observe emotional impulses, but don't react to them immediately. Every effort you make to stay calm will make you feel stronger. It's a skill, and all skills grow with practice. 6. They acknowledge their flaws and work on themselves. People of high value don't consider themselves perfect. They know that no one is entirely without faults. In fact, recognizing and accepting flaws is a sign of great strength and mental maturity. Self-awareness is the gateway to real power. Some people deny their mistakes or defend themselves by offering excuses, but this path never works for high-value individuals. They understand, the more they hide their weaknesses, the more challenges they'll face. Accepting flaws and working on them leads to growth. That is their biggest difference and their greatest strength. As the Stoic philosopher Epictetus said, "Try to be a little better each day." This might sound simple, but it carries deep meaning. Renewing yourself every day, learning from your mistakes, outgrowing your limits. That's the most valuable journey in life. How do they recognize their flaws? 1. They honestly observe themselves. They carefully watch their actions, thoughts, and reactions. During this self-observation, they are strict, but fair. 2. They make peace with their flaws. Accepting flaws is not weakness. It's the first step towards strength and growth. 3. They learn from mistakes. Every failure, every error is a lesson, an opportunity to learn and improve. 4. They love continuous growth. They take small steps to become better every day. Over time, these small steps create big differences. Working on yourself isn't just about reading books. It also means learning to manage your emotions. Quitting bad habits. Building good habits. Being more mindful in your relationships. Every bit of self-growth is a journey of self-discovery, inner cleansing and transformation. Why is this trait so valuable? Because growing throughout life brings both self-confidence and respect. People notice that you're working on yourself, accepting your mistakes and changing. This increases your influence and value. Now here are some practical suggestions to help you on this path. Take at least 5 minutes each day to reflect on yourself. When did you make mistakes during the day? What could you have done differently? Write down your mistakes and plan specific steps to correct them. Be gentle with yourself but serious about improvement. Big changes don't happen overnight, but small steps create miracles over time. 7. Finally, the 7th trait of high-value people is their respect for others' choices. High-value people understand that every individual has their own path, their own choices, and their own pace of growth. They respect this. The world is full of diversity. People think differently and live differently. Sometimes we try to impose our values and opinions on others, but high-value individuals don't follow that approach. They believe, "My path is mine. Your path is yours." This mindset is both wise and sincere. Marcus Aurelius once said, "Do not be angry at people for making mistakes. Everyone will have their time to see their error." These words carry deep meaning. High-value people try to understand instead of criticize. They know that criticism and judgment only bring discomfort and conflict, but they rarely bring change. What does it mean to show respect? If someone is on the wrong path, it means being patient with them and trying to understand rather than judge. If someone holds a different opinion, it means listening instead of rejecting their perspective. If someone makes different life choices, it means accepting their freedom rather than trying to defend or change them. What does this respect give you in return? 1. People feel less defensive around you. They become more open and comfortable. 2. You eliminate the stress that comes from constantly trying to change others. 3. People see you as sincere and open-hearted. A person of high value never reacts with immediate anger or hostility toward someone's mistakes. They understand that people want to live life on their own terms, when that is their right. Respecting this also means protecting your own freedom. When you respect the choices of others, you invite them to respect your choices in return. Remember, everyone has their own unique growth journey in life. High-value people are patient with the fact that others might make mistakes or take different paths. This is one of their greatest strengths, the strength of respect and understanding. So these 7 core traits form the foundation of becoming a high-value person. As you begin to embody these traits in your daily life, you'll become stronger, more grounded, and truly valuable from within. Being a high-value person is not about speaking loudly or showing off. It's about cultivating a quiet inner strength, one that shows in your silence, your patience, your principles, and your self-respect. If you're ready to walk this path, take one more step each day to embody these 7 traits. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and share your thoughts in the comments. In the next video, our Stoic journey continues. See you soon.